right, we'll call this meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order. First item of business is a roll call. So Mark Presley, Miss Freddie Banks, Cecily Saputo, Paul Knutsen's here, Miss Rosalie's here from planning, and we also have Jarrett Schaefer from GNRC. I'll remind everybody that we are recording, so when you talk, please use your microphone so everybody can hear. And if you intend to speak, please make sure you're signed up. Second item is approval of minutes from the last meeting, December 9th. So I'll give everybody, you should have a copy in your packet. I'll give everybody a chance to review them.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Mark to approve. Second by Ms. Frady. We have a motion to approve minutes as presented. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you, Ms. Cicely. Second, next item is any changes to the agenda. If we don't have any changes to the agenda, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Okay, we have a motion to approve the agenda by Ms. Freddie and second by Mark Presley. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Agenda's set. All right, anything for a public hearing at this point? All right, saying none, we'll move on to old business. Any old business? I don't think so. Nothing that I know of. Okay, with no old business, then we'll move on to new business. Major home occupation request by Randall Blair for an auto body shop at 480 Walnut Grove Road, 1.2 acres in the 6th Civil District. So someone would like to make a presentation?
I'm Randall Blair, owner of Blair's Paint and Body. I found a piece of land here in Trousdale County. I would like to see about getting and doing a paint and body shop, and try to bring more business to Hartsville. You know, all the places around here for places to eat and you know, hardware stores, co-op, all the parts stores. I think I could help the community around here and kind of help it grow a little bit with things that that we could use around here and do for everyone. I guess if anyone's got any questions for me, I'll be glad to answer.
So Randall, how long have you been in the auto paint and body shop business?
When I graduated in 2003, I was already tinkering with cars. And then I immediately got a job with a cousin of mine. And I've worked several places around here in town and in Lebanon and Gallatin. And so since 2003, I've been doing this.
So your intention is to utilize the storage building that's already on the property. I know when I looked on TN Property Viewer, it's not necessarily seen in TN Property Viewer, but it's already there. I have in my permitting software that the property owner, Oscar Sanchez, who is in the audience here, pulled a building permit and has built this storage building. It's about 2,000 square feet. So we have ample room, and I have inspected it, and it has a certificate of occupancy. And so that's your intention of using that building there for your business?
That's correct. We would like to, use that building and, piece of property to, try to do our business on.
So when you came into the office, you were telling me your plans, and I know I inspected the property and everything, and so it has like a basic apron, if you will, of gravel in the front. What do you intend to use that for?
Uh, one part we'd like to use for an office, just to kind of keep everything around that area to belong to us and operate. And, just try to, you know, just pretty much make a living and, you know, um, uh, just, like I say, just try to bring more business, you know, to Trousdale County. It's just hard to find anything around here. And that was one thing that kind of popped up to me and, you know, and I was like, well, we could maybe ask around about this and give it a try.
So tell us about your business. What are your plans, your hours? How many people are you thinking of servicing with your auto shop?
Well, our business, it would be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Um, and, you know, I'll have 2 or 3 helpers there with me. Um, usually, we usually get between 5 and 8 a day, give or take. But, we will be pretty much just, repairing cars, you know, painting cars, spot works, insurance work. We do a lot of work for the county and EMS. So we enjoy helping everybody that we can. Um, you know, there's a lot of people that just don't have it, you know, so we always try to work with everyone and do what we can for them.
I know you were also mentioning about different signs that you have planned for the property. What are the sizes for that?
Yes, ma'am. Well, I do have a 2x4 and I do have a 4x5. And I would like to use the biggest one on the garage and then maybe the other one out next to the road, if possible.
I know according to our ordinances for major home occupations, the signage is limited in its size, and it's like 4 square feet. So it sounds like your larger sign might be outside the parameter. And are you seeking a variance for that? Would you like to be able to utilize your larger sign?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to, if we could, I would like to use that one, that we already have made. Um, um, you know, and maybe just put it on the outside of the garage, just kind of off the road where you can kind of see it as you come down the road. And I figured the small one we had would be good for the outside of the road there.
How many cars or trucks do you expect to be at that location on a typical day?
Uh, I'm expecting at least between 5 and 8 a day. Now, we can give or take, you know, and sometimes we may not even have that many, it just depends on the day. And usually the next day we could have every bit of that.
Are any of those going to be left on location for more than a day or two, or is this all meant to be 1 day work?
No, ma'am. Most of them will be inside until they're done. And then we've got, an acre out back for parking. And, once they're done, we'll call the customers and we'll just pull them around in the parking for them to come and get their vehicles when finished.
So your intent is to maintain all cars inside the shop without, so they're not visible to passerbys unless they are pending pickup?
That is correct. Now, like I say, we do have an acre out back, in the driveway back there. We plan to put some back there as well, so they're not visible to the front of the shop.
So the ones that you plan to put out in the back, non-visible, would they be for pickup or repair?
That would, only be for pickup.
Is there any concern on the septic tank systems and the chemicals used for the body shop processes?
No, not at all that I know of. Everything's good there.
There's been a sign, advertising, this request in, at the location?
For the major home occupation,
Yeah.
has there been a sign there?
Yeah,
No, sir, there has
Okay.
not yet.
okay.
Not with the inclement weather and everything. It was
Oh,
difficult to get out there.
would, is there neighbors on each side of your, shop? Is there neighbors on each side of you, or?
We have one across the road.
They had expressed no concern or nothing?
No, one of them is a business that's actually beside us, but it's on in the back.
There has been a public hearing posted in the newspaper, so people do know. Yes, ma'am. We're referencing the different signs, so you're asking for a sign variance for both signs.
Sure. So, I know in that district, they do have a home occupation ability to have that. I guess in the review, my questions were, obviously the first thing I see is that, the owner is Mr. Sanchez and the applicant's name is different. So I didn't know, if you've had any kind of authorized agency that's been submitted. Have you submitted, have you submitted anything showing that, obviously you're here saying yes, but have you submitted anything showing authorized agency allowing him to submit on your behalf to have that business? Do you live on the property or will you continue to live there or? But you'll live on this property. One of the requirements is that the owner of the property needs to live on site. So
Would you mind coming to the microphone to make it easier for us to hear in the recording?
Okay, so my question is, your application submitted by Mr. Blair. You are the owner, Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I just want to confirm that you've allowed him to
Yes,
submit
I
on your
did.
behalf.
I
So
did.
that was the first question. So the other one was, are you going to be, so one of the requirements to have a home occupation, will you be living on site? You're going to be living in this home?
No, he's gonna try to get the house too. I mean, the building and the house.
Okay, so that's one of the requirements, through section 4.040. Needs to be conducted by members of the family residing in the dwelling unit. So that's one of the conditions. Well, I could be wrong, but I did see that in there. I don't have the ordinance open. I believe so. It's section 4.040 B. So to take a look at that again, it says there's no stipulation in the county that requires a homeowner to live on site or a major home occupation, considering that the owner is not conducting a major home occupation.
The renters can conduct a major home occupation, given that the property owner has given them permission. That does impact the tax with the property.
Okay, yeah, as long as it's in the ordinance, I don't have a problem with that.
Consent from the property owner, we've allowed them to do major home occupations.
Okay, so again, if that's in the ordinance and then that's my question, yeah.
So the county has the requirement for it to be permission from the property owner, but the city has the requirements that they. And this is by the city?
No.
Okay. So this,
Okay, so another thing that I noted was the parcel isn't a 5 acre. I see a 5 acre minimum for that district.
No,
Is that not correct?
no, it is not correct. In the county, it's A1, the minimum, depending on wherever it's, minimum is 3 acres or 2 acres if you have fire protection. This was a lot of record, and it was zoned A1, so it can still be A1 as a lot of record.
And you're saying it has fire protection on it, but it does not need fire protection as well?
It's a lot of record. We can't make them rechange their zone. They can ask to rezone it, but again, the state came and set everything up. And that parcel was a small parcel, but it was zoned A1.
Okay, well, I'll continue on with, it sounds like I was in the wrong ordinance, but I'm not sure if any of these are going to pertain. So another question I had was about the major home occupation. There's a list of items which included small engine appliance repair, a whole laundry list. I think you can see that under application review. one of the questions, I guess, is, you know, it's not shown there as an approved use, but the BZA has the ability to see this as a like use for a major home occupation. And that's one of the items, I guess, you know, that's before use. If this is a use you can see going in that spot. I know these answer questions about the operating hours between 8 and 4. There are some dimensions of the building at 2,000 square feet. I don't know the dimensions of the existing home. I know there are some requirements about it being secondary in size to that primary building or primary structure. I don't know if we have the dimensions of that home so we can determine that. Again,
Cases will not be conducted within the house, it's within the accessory
It's
structure.
rebuilding.
yes, I understand that, but typically the outbuilding needs to be smaller than the primary.
Not with accessory structures. You can have a large barn.
Larger than your primary?
Mhm. This, again, this is a lot of record in the houses. Was built, I believe, in 1950.
Okay, so of any of the things I've noted, are there any that you know to be outstanding that would prohibit this?
No.
That might be easier if I'm in the wrong ordinance, if any of those pertain.
No, typically what I try to do is screen everything before I ever send it forward to go to planning or the BZA, because that is just the most beneficial use of the BZA's time or the planning's time. I
And
try to screen everything before I send it on.
I apologize to everyone. I did receive this morning. Tried to get this done before Planning Commission had a few other items on the agenda. So it looks like I overlooked the ordinance and looked at the wrong one, but I guess if Rosalie has issues, I apparently the ones that I have are not valid.
Well, you did touch on something that we didn't verbally address right here is the number of assistants. In this ordinance that's referenced, though it may be the wrong one, it does address that there cannot be more than one employee. Is the 4.055 or 4.050 address the limitations of employees on that?
It says members of the family residing in the dwelling unit plus no more than one non-resident or employee.
So I think he had mentioned his intent was to have 2 or 3 employees. Is that part of what we're looking at as the variance?
That would be part of the variance he does. I know his son does help him as well. So I don't know if any more of the assistants, are they family members?
My son, and then I've got one. And then my daughter, when she does. Two family members, when she does. So there is a house on the site and you're gonna live there? Yes, okay.
In the ordinance, it does state that persons engaged in building trades or similar fields using their dwelling units or residential premises as an office may have more employees than the limitation set forth.
Yeah, I saw that. I did want to point out, though, it does also say there'll be no storage of equipment, vehicles, bins, trailers, or supplies associated with the home occupation outside of the dwelling or accessory building, so. And then also wanted to point out, if this is granted, it's 3 years, so you do have to come back in front of this board in 3 years and reapply. So be aware of that. Any more questions?
Um, point five here mentions about like the fumes or any of the other odors that would be coming from that home occupation. Is there anything inside of the proposal that we can ask for to show that those won't be a factor? And what type of regulations or standards are those for me to be able to put into these notes that you will be audited and abiding by? Is there a standard, an industry standard, or anything that I can reference in the notes that will show that you are abiding by some sort of industrial standard for those fumes and odors to be regulated?
Is there a brand name on the, I know you said that you have like a paint tent or canopy, whatever, so it's all enclosed. Do you have like a brand name that we can reference to put in the notes that you're utilizing? Okay. So after the meeting, if you wouldn't mind letting Ms. Cicely know that name and how to spell it, so we can go ahead and get that in the minutes.
Any more questions? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to either approve or deny.
I make a motion to approve.
A motion by Mark Presley to approve the major home occupation.
Could we go ahead and have you state what you're approving and what variances you guys are granting, so we can
Well,
make sure we get
yeah.
it in the minutes?
Yeah, I think we'll have to do the signs by themselves. I think we'll have to start with the major home occupation and then we'll have to come back and visit the signs.
I make a motion to approve the major home operation for the body shop at 480 Warren Grove Road.
Second.
The motion to approve the major home occupation for the body shop as applied for. The second by Miss Freddie. Is there any further discussion? And go ahead.
In that motion, do we need to include about the sign?
Nope, we're gonna handle those separate. Any other comments?
I just wanted to make sure, so there is notifications in the paper that an auto body shop will be put in close to these agricultural locations? Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of approval, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Major home occupation variance granted. Now we better visit the signs. So refresh my memory, 4x5 on the building. That's too big for the building too, right? I remember right.
4x5 for the building.
Yeah, that's what he said. Said he had is that correct? A 4x5 that you want attached to the building?
Yeah, the only thing that major home occupations are the 4 square feet. And other major home occupations, they have asked for sign variances because driving by, it's very difficult.
Yeah, 4 square feet is just not doable. So now we'll have to discuss a variance on the signs. There's a 2x4 that will be out by the road. And a 4x5 that he wants to attach to the building. Any questions?
Are we all aware of the other regulations within that sign about proximity to the road and lighting and all of that other stuff? Has that all been considered and addressed by the applicant?
The signs that you're putting on there, they're not lighted signs. They're not electric signs. They're just wooden signs. That was my understanding when we were talking. Is that correct?
For both? Both of them are? Okay.
Is that the only variation that we're needing to approve? Is the size, the
The size.
other stuff is all acceptable and doable? Okay.
When he does his signs, he will need to come and get a permit, and I will make sure that he meets the setbacks for those.
Thank you.
Any further questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the variance for the signs. One will be 8 square feet and one will be 20.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve by Ms. Sicily,
A second.
second by Mark Presley. So we have a motion to approve a 8 square foot sign by the road and a 20 square foot sign attached to the building. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the variance on signs, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Congratulations. All right, next item on the agenda then. Oh, I lost my agenda. There it is. Report from the chairman. The only thing I'd ask is if we've had any further discussion on adding another member.
You will see that during the county commission meeting this month.
Okay.
It's my understanding.
Does our building official have any remarks they'd like to make?
Thank you, everyone, for doing your 4 hours worth of training for this past year. And your chairman is definitely setting the example. He's already done 2 hours towards his 2025 training. So just putting it out there. Thank you so very much. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of building going on. The field house has now started its construction, and it'll be interesting to see how it progresses as it's going up.
Chairman has no closing remarks other than to say thanks, everybody. And so if there's nothing further, then we're adjourned,
Motion to adjourn.
I guess. Motion to adjourn by Ms. Freddie. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Especially Paul, huh? We are. Did I turn it off? No.